Welcome back, Blade Runners. This old sword with you. And I have another Koenscraft custom with us today. And he simply calls this the three-finger EDC. I'm going to say it's a Wharncliffe, okay? Or you may want to call it a reverse Tonto. I don't know. And it's a cool little knife that he came up with. Interesting thing about Morgan Koens is the way he produces knives is incredible. How quickly he can produce a knife, heat treat it himself, finish it up with the handles, and make it just outstanding. He drops them on Instagram, and they're gone within 30 minutes. Gone within 30 seconds, right? Wasn't that or 60 seconds? Wasn't that a movie? So I saw this one, wasn't planning on purchasing anymore at the moment, but the price was right, came in under 200, and as with all other Koenscraft knives, it's going to need a sheath. He does not make sheaths to go with his knives. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. Bad thing is you don't get a sheath right away to carry it with. Good thing is you get to have the kind of sheath you want made. Custom-made sheath for a custom-made knife. So this is, first of all, a chisel ground blade. It is flat on one side and ground on the other. He provides this little card along with all of his knives. So there are the specs and signed by him. Three-finger EDC, Nitro V, chisel ground, micarta handles, and hardware, stainless steel, I think he said. Yeah, SS, stainless steel. That would be probably the screws that hold the handle on. Well, let's back out just a little bit so we can get a little closer. Backing out so we can get closer, but that's the way the camera works. You can see the profile of the handle. We have two facets to the handle, so kind of a triangular shape, cross section there. Bead blasted all the way around on the spine and the tang of the blade. Great place to put your thumb right there. No jimping. He doesn't do a lot of jimping unless it's very heavy jimping. Three-finger EDC, yes it is. 1, 2, 3 fingers. With the fourth one kind of making contact with the pommel there. For a shorter, more compact knife, it works that way. Not all knives are going to have all 4 fingers on. However, I do have a TCal nightshade over in the wings to show you that is a similar blade shape, but with a handle that you can get a few more fingers on and a ring. I'll show you that in a moment. So Nitro V, Rockwell should be around 60 on this. He likes to work a lot in Nitro V. It's a great steel, it's stainless, and he won't give you a brushed finish like this, which is rare for him, on anything that is non-stainless, so I'm told. So if it's a carbon tool steel, you won't see this finish on it, but he does a beautiful satin brush finish, and this is pretty much the way they come off his grinder. I mean, got that beautiful two-way satin finish there with the flats being bead blasted. There's his signature on both sides. Nope, not on both sides. On this one, it's only on the show side. Now, for those of you that may not be real fond or like chisel grinds, it's a very useful and old way of making a knife. The kiridashis, many of them from Japan, are a working knife with a chisel grind. And I'm going to show you how laser sharp this darn thing is right out of the box, so to speak. Now when I say right out of the box, this actually came in a nice little Tupperware sort of box. Morgan tells me he was going to get into producing and doing his own folders on a CNC machine, but he's yet to get the equipment, and that may or may not happen. But anyway, it's great for transporting the knife, for mailing it from Canada. He's in the Hamilton, Ontario area in Canada, as I understand it. Anyway, here is a sheet of paper. Here is our knife. Ooh. I don't know, with a chisel grinded I can do the curly fuse, but you can see that we have some sharpness going on there, I would say, and I do. So the three-fingered EDC, you know, with there's no action on fixed blade knives, obviously. You can only appreciate the ergos. You can appreciate the grinds. You can appreciate the workmanship. And there you get a good look at the spine of the blade and how that grind changes. And we got a pretty decent point. It's very fine, but not frail by any means. Nice work on a satin finish, even out to the point. I don't know if you can pick up on that or not. So this could be a cool little EDC knife, as he calls it, for just about anything, you know, cutting chores with that point, tactical defense type knife. Don't know that you get a lot of thrusting ability with it. Yes, there's a point there, but this drops pretty quickly, unlike something like a Yojimbo, where you get a little bit longer, narrower slant there to the tip, if you want to call it that. So I told you I'd compare it to the Nightshade. Let's get the Nightshade out here. This is a beautiful little hideout EDC knife from T-Kel Knives, Tim Kell. And it in itself is a three-finger knife, except you've got the ring on the end, so you got a little extra. And obviously with this one with the ring, and by the way, Morgan has made knives with rings on them too. He has some real interesting designs. The thing with him as a custom maker is he has no set patterns. He'll do 3, 4 knives, maybe 2. Likes to do at least 2. And then he won't do them again. And if someone asks, he won't do them again. Not for a while. So that's how he likes to cycle it and keep it creative. So, I mean, creativity is coming out of his shop from his mind, and that's it. You get what you get. So no standard production, if you will, models with him. That's a little different with somebody like BlackRock, where you can say, well, I want the boot, or I want the Gariel, or I want the Gator, and he'll make you one. Although each one's going to be slightly different from the next. So for your comparison again, there is the Nightshade, even, well, just about even length. Yep. One thing I hadn't done yet, and that reminded me, is a few measurements, just so you have these dimensions. Overall, it's 6.5 inches, and the blade is 3 inches. That's pretty simple. And we have a blade stock in millimeters of 3.3. That equates to 0.12 inches. And across the broadest part of the knife, heavily contoured, 0.69. But if we get up here, I mean, it's going to taper right down to the thickness of the blade. Don't have a sheath to measure the weight with, but we'll do the blade alone. And wait for the scale to zero out. 3.8 ounces. So, you know, it's got a little bit of heft there, but under 4 ounces, I mean, that's nothing for a folder, so even less when you're talking fixed blades. I'd like to see this in a nice little Kydex sheath, or maybe a leather pouch sheath. So I've yet to get sheaths for some of my other Morgan's Koenscraft blades. I have to pull way out for this one. Here is another. This is the Tonto, the fullered Tonto, that was the first knife that I got from Morgan. This is coming up on about a 7.5 inch blade. It is a big boy. And again, this is yet to get a sheath. It's going to be my next big venture, I think, with Koenscraft stuff, is getting everything sheathed. And that's going to be an interesting venture, because I'm going to need to be, I can be creative with the what I ask for in the leather. But this is a beautiful bamboo contoured handle. Wood is cocobolo, and this one has a bead blast going all the way through all of the facets. Really nice looking Tonto. Beautiful grinds he does, extremely precise. He and Dirk Pinkerton just do excellent grind work. A few more comparisons. So if you need to see it next to the Griptilian, fully open, the Griptilian is going to be about 2 inches longer, with the blade about almost 3/4 of an inch longer. And against the Rat 1, oh yeah, well, of course, about 3 inches longer overall. A specialized little fixed blade knife, for sure. And I'm proud to add it to the collection. Bit of an impulse buy, but tell me you haven't bought a knife on impulse. Oh my, what a thing. Okay, folks, that's all. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe. I've got some more blades on the way, fixed and folding. Be well.